Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams. I welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. I'm hearing you're like a breath of fresh air. You have a fragrant spirit. You feel good to be around. And you bring peace to everyone that's around you, which is a gift. It's a gift. And if anybody forgets that that's a gift, you can remind them. Yeah, your energy is very, very, very beautiful. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? Relief and past life. There's something that you went through that was really trying. It took a long time. It was because of an experience that you had in multiple lives, past lives. And so you came into this lifetime with the goal to work through that karma. Your goal was to work through that karma, and you've done that. And now, 144 on the timer. And now you're getting relief. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. Relief and past life. This was a deep cycle of healing. It was like you had experienced cycles in your past that dealt with this energy. But this was one that was just, it was huge. The experiences that you had, the people that you had encounters with, this was kind of like the grand finale for this karmic cycle or this karmic energy. And you worked through it like a boss. You really did. You worked through it. You've built something beautiful in the process too. I'm looking at this pyramid. It's like you didn't just sit there and go through this cycle and go through this pain. You made it worthwhile. You made it a useful experience. And there's something that you've been building that will last. It's a part of your legacy now. I'm seeing ease though with the green on this relief card. A lot of ease. Things that were difficult before won't have to be difficult for you anymore. I saw one more. What else is coming through for this beautiful being from this deck? Veiled. Knowledge. So there's some knowledge that you've come into that was hidden before, but you've revealed what it is. And then coming into this awareness, you've also revealed a part of yourself, like aspects of yourself that were hidden before. You've opened roads to possibilities that weren't available to you before, but now you have access to so many more things in life. Paths that you can take, people that you can meet, places that you can go. There's a lot more in front of you now that you can choose from. And it's all a part of your reward, which is how I'm seeing this relief. It's like your reward for the difficulty that you went through. You have options now. You have options. Ashe. Alright, they're guiding me to this 180 deck. What's coming through for this beautiful being, Divine? Train, moving on, life's journey, a new endeavor. Yeah. You are going forward. This is giving me like chariot energy, where you're moving forward. And you have everything that you need for your journey. You have everything that you need for an endeavor that you're moving forward with. You have a fortress. Yeah. Fortitude, staying power. You're prepared for something. It says ready for anything. You're determined and unbreakable. You have true grit. You have exactly what it takes. And also you've learned how to protect yourself through this experience that you've been through. So the weapons that people try to use on you, it's not going to faze you. Also, you're going to spot things out. You're going to recognize tricks and traps so quickly now that things that used to take you a lot of time to work through mentally and energetically, now you recognize it just like that and you're able to move through it like it's nothing. Because to you it really will be nothing. Yeah. It's like been there, done that type of energy. What's next? Been there, done that. What's next? Inventor, that's what's next. You are creating something, you're inventing something. And it feels like something that's very original, something that is from your mind, something that is from the visions that you have, that you share with the divine, that the divine channels through to you. Innovation, imagination, creative. The word gadgets is standing out to me, so that might be something that you use in your creative process, gadgets, or it might be something that you're working on inventing. Okay? Divine says it's okay to fail because it's a part of the learning process. So as you are creating something, if it's not what you want it to be or what you set out for it to be, first of all, in a creative process, sometimes a mistake can be the best thing ever because it ends up being something different from what you planned, but it's still something beautiful. But if you have a set goal in mind and you're trying to achieve a certain outcome, Divine says just do it again, okay? Don't be afraid to try again, because each time you try again, you will learn something new, okay? You're setting trends and you are a mastermind. You are a mastermind. Okay. I'm getting STEM. What is that? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, I think. I should know that. I was a teacher, but I did not teach STEM. I was a language teacher, but yeah, it's like there's something there with your brain. It's how it works. It's very innovative, and you might incorporate technology and mathematics, engineering, something of the sorts, science. Also, you know, magic is science. So there might be something that you do regarding alchemical processes or regarding magic where you incorporate scientific knowledge or awareness. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's beautiful because it's a reflection of your experiences with spirit and your growth and this karmic lesson that you've gone through and that you've conquered and mastered. All of that is being poured into this innovative process. And it's going to be something amazing. Truly. Whatever it is that you're creating is absolutely a miracle. Okay? All right, let's pull a couple of these. Okay, I got to see what that one is because it's staring at me. Ooh, somebody's life is sad. It's somebody who tried to take you down. I feel like it's someone who tried to conquer you in this lesson that you've learned, this experience, this journey that you've been through where you've conquered so much. And this isn't about conquering other people. You've conquered Fear. You've conquered fear. You've conquered self-doubt. You know on such a deep level who you are and what you're capable of. And it's more than you ever thought, because you've surprised yourself of who you've become. And I'm hearing that that was the goal, was to get you to be in awe of who you are. For you to understand the miracle that you are, and the beautiful being that you always will be, and that you always were. But a lot of people didn't want you to know how beautiful you were. But now you know, and they know too. Okay, it says their life is sad. Attacking you is all they look forward to. Isn't that sad? So you were dealing with someone where the highlight of their day was to get up and see what they could take from you, to plan and plot against you. That is a sad life. This is because this person has inner child wounds, a very neglected inner child. But see, along this process, you've been nurturing your inner child. You've been allowing yourself to explore and to play and to be exactly who you are meant to be. For you, this journey is not about fitting in. It's not about making other people happy. There's nothing wrong with helping other people and bringing joy to others when it's a reciprocal thing, or when it's someone that you truly love, like a child or someone that's beloved. But just going around putting other people first and pleasing them and forsaking your will for the temporary happiness of others, that's not something that you're doing. And so your inner child is very, very nurtured. Their goal was to shut down and close off your heart chakra. Okay, so this is someone who may have attacked a relationship in your life, connections that are very important to you. That's what they were aiming at. And it wasn't with those cherub arrows either. Okay, that's not what they were coming with. They were coming with something very dark and diabolical, something very evil. They really wanted to take away from you. Yeah. But you did it. Look, past life lessons. You did it. And the rewards that you will continue to reap because of what you've been through, phenomenal. Phenomenal. I feel like you can't recognize yourself sometimes, okay, from years ago, because you've transformed. And I'm hearing you ain't seen nothing yet. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, it's like you're so amazing, but you're still just getting started. Like in the grand scheme of things, of your whole life, of what you're doing, of where you're going on this train, the journey that you're going on, like 1333, you're building, you're collaborating, and it's not done yet. You're nowhere done yet, but you've come so far. Yeah. Stressed because they can't fool you. Yeah, so there's somebody who's still getting still. They want to pull something over on you. They want to try to fool you. Let's see what this is about. Okay, they're saying the Star Tarot. What's coming through, Spirit? What is this that needs to be known for this beautiful being's reading? What needs to be known? Okay, they want you in the Eight of Swords. About something related to a romantic connection. Okay, because it's Eight of Swords and Knight of Cups. And they're watching you. There's somebody who's really, really, really watching you. Stalking. The Tower. And this person, this is what they don't realize, is that the more they watch you, the more they're creating their own tower. Okay? So there's somebody who They want you in the Eight of Swords about a connection in your life, okay, with the Eight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. But also what I'm getting is that there's someone who wanted to torture you. They wanted to bring harm your way. And this is all because that's how they feel inside. They're a tortured soul. They're a tormented soul. Okay? There are pieces of their soul all over the cosmos, just fragmented as hell. And instead of focusing on gathering their energy and healing it, they've been focused on yours. Because, see, when this person looks at the work that they have to do on themselves, it's so overwhelming. They don't even know where to start. But just like any of us who have been at rock bottom or who have been tormented at one time, we had to figure out where we were going to start. And where you start is just wherever you are. And you say, I'm going to do better. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to do better. And I'm going to do better because I choose to love myself in this moment. That's all any of us can do. But this person is not there. And so instead of looking at themselves and considering where they want to go and how they need to grow, they set their eyes on you. And they knew, see, we're in minute 16. They knew that all that they were reaping was the karma that they had created for themselves. And they were experiencing tower after tower after tower. And you were experiencing goodness, because that's what you were putting out there. Okay? Not only does this person want you in the Eight of Swords all bound and unhappy and second guessing yourself and doubting yourself about connections in your world, but that's how they feel, because they want to come through. Okay? They want to come through to you. Yes, they do. And the pitiful state that they're in. But the more and more that they watch you, the more and more of a tower that they create for themselves. They're steadily stalking, steadily watching you. And every time they watch you, all that they can think of is just another way to try to set you back, another way to try to come into your world, another way to try to get you to hear them out. Another way to just, you know what I'm getting is that this person just wants your time, as in like you answering the phone when they call. They just want you to open the door for them if they come and ring the doorbell or knock on your door. They don't even know where they would go after that. They just want the slightest hint of your energy. And what I'm getting is that you're not doing it. You're not doing it exactly because with justice, you know truth, and you have cut them off. With this sword, yeah, you've cut them off. You are balanced in your world, and you know that in order to maintain this balance, there is no room for liars and people who go around wearing masks, not being their true self. There's no time for that. Okay? There's no time for that. So, yeah, as far as you're concerned, you're the hermit. You are so comfortable going within. And I feel like you are constantly in this meditative state. So, you know, some people get in full lotus and do their thing, and that's cool. But it's like you could be doing most anything and you're meditating. When you're cleaning, you're meditating. When you're washing dishes, you're meditating. When you're working in the yard, you're meditating. When you're I always hesitate when I say this, but driving. Because some people can be in a meditative state when they drive and some people cannot. Okay, so I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything that they cannot do safely. But some people can enter a reflective state and drive safely, but I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. But some people can do it, okay? But it's like you live in this meditative state where you're always reflecting and looking to see what's there that you can gain insight from and wisdom. And I'm getting that throughout the day when you're doing just any sort of task, that's when a lot of your creative ideas come to you. You get creative ideas all the time. But it's always when you're doing something meditative. So allow that flow of energy to be there. You might be out and about and you get an idea of something to create. Jot it down or record it in an app on your phone, or put it in your color note or something like that in your phone. Because if you don't, more than likely you will forget about it later. And Divine says that those intuitive hits that you get, it's like a bolt of lightning is really what it is. It's an immediate charge of awareness that you get. And it's a gift. But as quickly as it comes, sometimes it goes. Because then you go in the store and you get your groceries and you're like, wait, what was that idea I had? I knew what I was going to do. And it's like your next beautiful thing that you're going to create, right? Divine says have a way to record it and jot it down, because that's so important. So this being wants to interrupt your world, wants to interrupt your flow, so that all of these, like this routine that you have, this beautiful divine routine that you have of creation and of healing. For some of you, you're getting ideas of how to heal yourself or how to channel healing energy to other people. They want to interrupt that because this person, because they're stalking you, they can see the evidence of what you're doing. They see the benefit of your healing energy and of your focus on yourself and of whatever it is that you give your time, energy, and effort to. They see whatever it is that you dedicate yourself to, they see it growing. Whether it's your career, whether it's your creative endeavor, whether it's your home and family, whatever it is, friendships, whatever it is, they see it growing exponentially. They see how strong it is, how healthy it is. And that is the last thing on earth that they want it for you. What's coming through, now this is intuitive, but what's coming through is that whenever this person came in contact with you and decided to attack you, okay, it was because that was when they started to feel out of control with something in their world. I'm getting for some of you, this person who attacked you, they were experiencing so much chaos within a relationship. They may have been headed towards divorce. They were losing their career. There's something that they were on the verge of losing. And so when they started to attack you, that's when they started to feel like things were spiraling out of control. This person has maintained so many masks that they operated like a machine. They knew exactly which mask to wear in order to fool which group of people, whichever group of people they were interacting with at the time. They knew exactly which lies to tell. They had a host of plastic smiles for everybody to think that they were so happy and wonderful. And when they came across you, there was something that was so magical and true and authentic about you that they couldn't handle it because they knew that you were not buying their bullshit. And that was the first time in their life that they felt like they were a complete fraud. And they were forced to see themselves for the fraudulent self that they are. And they couldn't handle it. And so instead of sitting with that and being able to regulate their emotions, which was anger, embarrassment, frustration, yeah, all of that. But instead of choosing to regulate that and sit with that and see where it might take them so that they could grow, they decided to turn against you and to attack you. But the reason why they did that was because they realized that they were spiraling out of control. They no longer could keep up with the facade that they had kept up with for so many years, and it frustrated the hell out of them, and they were so angry at you. Not angry at themselves for creating a facade in the first place and not choosing to love their authentic self. No. They chose to turn on you and try to embarrass you and humiliate you. And that has not turned out well for them. Because here they are, stalking you, watching you, all the while creating tower after tower after tower for themselves. Meanwhile, you're over here with the Justice and the Hermit, living in truth, not putting up with craziness, and getting beautiful meditative ideas for your future. I mean, you're winning. You're winning. And you're the High Priestess. What you see is what's there, but it's underneath everything else that everybody else sees. You see what I'm saying? You see what's hidden. You see through the darkness. And that's something that irritates this person so deeply, is that you're able to see underneath it all. You're able to see underneath it all. You're reflective, you're meditative, you're intuitive. And they can't handle it. Yeah, with the Seven of Pentacles, this is something that's gone on for a long time. But even though you have been confronted with this energy for a long period of time, you've chosen to grow. This is something that you could have chosen to strategize against them and lose energy, being angry. And I'm sure there's been some anger there, but you've transmuted it and you've turned it into a process of growth. That's what the Seven of Pentacles is about. Something over a long period of time where you're patient and you're building, you're growing something, okay? That's what you chose to do with this. And here you are as the Magician, manifesting, choosing to wield your energy in a positive direction. It's like you were using all that you were given, all the elements, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, and you made magic out of it. Like, because that's all that we can do is see what we're given, right? But you went a step further and you decided to pick up those tools that the Magician has, to use each of those elements and to alchemize whatever it was that was put in front of you. All of that evil, all of that torture that they tried to send your way. Yeah. You turned it into something beautiful. Also, so much balance here. If you see here, it looks like a slice of pizza, but it's not. But, well, it could be if that's how you see it. But it's got like the yin and yang symbol on there, yin yang symbol. So deep within you, you have balanced your masculine and feminine energies. What I'm getting here actually is that because that's in the area of the sacral and root chakras, there may have been energy that this person sent to you that was of a sexual nature, and it was to get you off track. It was to fill you with lust and to get you to go in a direction that was truly not meant for you. But instead of allowing their energy, their love spells and their binding spells, instead of allowing that to control you, you harnessed it and you allowed it to balance your masculine and feminine energies right here within your sacral and root chakras. And so now you're strong there as well. There is no love spell that can have any sort of impact on you. You are in control of your chakras. Yes, you did that. You did that. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like you're also so much closer now with your spirits, with the divine itself, and with your ancestors and the archangels and your spirit allies. You just have such a close union with them. It's like every time that this enemy tried to bind you to them, you just became closer and closer with your spirits and with the divine. And so that's why those binding spells didn't work. Also, their power to bind people has worn off. Their power to bind people has worn off. Because I know you're not the only one that they did this to. They did this to others as well. Yeah, see, because they've been exposed. All of this binding work that this enemy did to try to gather your energy and bind you to other people or bind you to them and control and manipulate, all of that has been exposed. And so as soon as that exposure hit, this person lost power. Because, see, a part of their power was because they were operating in darkness. They didn't want to be exposed. They didn't want there to be any awareness of what they were doing. They were cloaked all the time. This is a person who could have walked around talking about going to church, going to mass, love and light, all of that, okay? Which was a bunch of crap because that's not how they operate. And so once they were exposed, their true intentions, the closeted rituals that they were doing, the evil work that they were trying to send you and other people, once light was shed on that, oh, that was the beginning of the end for them. 30-30 on the timer. Because they had to see who they truly were. And not only did they have to see it, because they don't like to see who they truly are. They wear a mask even when they're looking at themselves in the mirror. They can't stand to see their true self. But once the truth about them and what they do started to come out, not only did they have to face their own truth, but people who had fallen under their spell had to face the truth of who they were as well. And not only face the truth of who this person was, but face the truth of who they were spending their time with and giving their energy to and their money to. Yeah, this person had bound people to them in order to influence them to pay their way through life. Yeah, all of that got exposed. All of that got exposed. Yeah, somebody was talking. Somebody was singing like a canary. With the Knight of Swords, there's somebody who came through with truth and a sword. And they were not afraid to speak. This led to an Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, a new opportunity. So there could be something that you were creating. You know, with the Knight of Swords, I'm getting something kind of like fun and creative where you're speaking. It could be a podcast. It could be that you're writing music or something like that. But it's something where you had no hesitation at all. The Knight of Swords keeps coming through. It came through in the last reading as well. So this feels like just an energy where you really don't give a damn. You're saying what needs to be said. And you're saying it with the sun energy. So you're not afraid to expose the light or expose truth, right? But you speaking the truth led to a new opportunity. And this is something that yields abundance. It yields a new beginning, new life. Okay? Yeah, it feels like spring again. It's like with this person that was lying and manipulating, it feels like it was a constant winter. It was just constant coldness and just a barren land. That's what I'm seeing. Like no life, no fruit, no harvest, nothing. And then with you coming through with your truth and your light, you're giving way to new life. It feels beautiful. And that Ace of Pentacles takes you to the Ten of Pentacles. Look, this is the second time I'm pulling this tonight. It came through in the last reading in another deck. You are so blessed. You are so blessed. Because this is not just abundance that's financial, but it's in every way. It's in every way that you have earned this abundance, this prosperity, this stability. And there's something about stability within your home as well. Property. I'm seeing property. I'm seeing you grow things. Both on your land. Okay, so you might have plants and trees and things like that. But also, this is within your home. You're growing things. A legacy. Creating a legacy. This is something that never dies. This is a legacy that will continue to go on and on and on. And I know the Ten of Pentacles speaks to strength, but it feels sweet too. Because, you know, stability, it just feels good, right? This is about the root chakra. Stability and safety, security, knowing that you're safe. And knowing that whoever it is that you're responsible for, whoever it is that you care about, you've provided something for them where they can feel stable too. And they can have a good start in life. And you're going to pass on that torch to them where they just keep it going. I keep hearing that your legacy will never die. Your legacy will never die. And even if you have no children, no earthly children, I'm getting that you still will have children. Okay, I know that might sound kind of crazy, but it's like you still will have children. It's people that you will inspire. You know, it's kind of like in the Bible, like how Jesus would talk to the people and inspire them. And, you know, it's like he was just such an inspiration to people. He taught them. He was patient with them. He was loving to them. That Christ consciousness. That's what I'm getting. There's this energy, because I keep seeing this yin and yang. There's this vibe about you that feels so much like a loving parent. Whether it would be a father or a mother. And it could be, even if you're a woman, you could still feel like, because your yin and yang is so balanced. Father energy, mother energy. It's very balanced, you know? And the same thing for if you're a male. It's, you just feel like balanced, nurturing, protective energy. You're everything in one. A nurturer and a protector. You hear the chimes? The ancestors are saying, yup. Uh-huh. It was so cool. I was staring out the window today and a cardinal, there were 2 cardinals that came and visited me. So that's always my ancestors. But yeah, they've been very active out there today. So they're definitely saying, yup, yup. So look, the 7 of Swords, you don't even have to worry about that because you've gotten past this. This is where these evil beings wanted you, was caught up in the 7 of Swords. They wanted you here constantly. They wanted you living in a state of darkness, fear, and evil. But the thing is that you didn't fear that darkness. You took it and you got to know it. And you learned how to work with the darkness. Okay? And this was over a long period of time that you spent in this energy. And so you got to know that really well, where people were strategizing against you, working against you, and you learned how to live above that. And so you're not scared of it anymore. And you gain strength. Exactly. There could be Leo energy here. Doesn't have to be. But this is the energy of the lion. You're strong. And now you know your strength. And you never would have known your strength had you not gone through that 7 of Swords. Where people were constantly working against you. Yeah. This is Ace of Swords. That's the truth. And you are the truth. I'm also getting Archangel Michael and his protection surrounding you. Ashe. Okay. Let's see what you made it past. Because I'm like really in awe of you in this reading. It's like, and I feel like the last reading was kind of leading up to it because there was like 10 of Swords and stuff like that. And it was kind of similar to this one where you were moving beyond that. But it's just so amazing what you've made it through. What is it that this beautiful being has made it beyond? Yeah, generational wounds. Your ancestors are rejoicing because there are patterns that you have broken out of. And that can be the hardest thing to break out of, is a pattern. Because a pattern is like a habit. It's something that comes naturally. It's like a knee-jerk reaction based on our DNA and our ancestral wounds that have been passed down, right? Generational curses, and also our own traumas that have reinforced that ancestral trauma, right? And so that's why so many people stay stuck, but you didn't. And I'm looking at Saturn. So this was about a karmic lesson from past lives, where in a past life you were like, oh, I didn't make it. You know, I didn't do what I needed to do. But in this life, you came into this life saying, oh no, this is going to be different. I'm doing this one not only for me, but for the ancestors too. And you did that. You did that. And you are creating a rich legacy. Yes. What else has this beautiful being made it beyond? Yes, there were demonic influences. There were people trying to send demonic energies towards you to bring you down. And this was intentional work that was done. Whether it was through their thoughts, you know, People don't always have to be standing at an altar to do their work. They can do it right there standing in the line in the grocery store. Okay? But see, because you've been through that Seven of Swords and you went through it for so long, you've learned how to transmute that energy. So now there is nothing that you have to fear. Nothing. Not the evil eye in the grocery store. Not the evil eye riding down the highway. On the internet. From a neighbor. From whoever. You are so far beyond any attack that someone would try to send towards you. Okay? And that's the work that you have done. Right along with your ancestors. Right along with the divine. You've done that. And you've paid your karmic debt. Look, that's like that past life card, okay? And death rites. Yeah, rituals where people wanted to send endings to you, constant endings. You have risen above that. You have paid your karmic debts. Wow. All this suffering that somebody wanted for you, you just took it and turned it into something that worked for you and something that works for your legacy as well. I love it. I love it so much because this is why we're here. We're here to break out of these chains, right? We're here to do better, to grow, to evolve, and to learn to love ourselves because the world sure as hell doesn't teach us how to do that. But that's what you do, is you love yourself. You choose to love yourself every single day. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? Oh, the Phoenix Rising! I haven't seen my ash today. Whenever there's ash flying, that's Spirit coming through saying you're the Phoenix Rising, but they decided to do it through the card today. So Ashe, you're the Phoenix Rising. Look at you. Look at what you did with that ash. Look at what you did with that spirit of death that they were sending you, right? You said, oh no, not today. I'm not done. It ain't over. Because baby, it ain't over till it's over. You said it ain't over, okay? You embrace transformation. Your rebirth is near. I feel like you've already been going through your rebirth, right? But the truth is that once you've been through a rebirth, like, we go through them. Actually, we're reborn every day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you're letting go of old habits and beliefs that no longer serve you. You're embracing your transformation as you rise from the ashes, stronger and more capable than ever. Ashe, that's right. That's card 85. That's card 13. You know, 8 and 5 is 13. So, yeah, that's what you did with that death energy. You transmuted it. You were reborn. Prosperity charm. Okay, so you've got prosperity. This keeps coming through in the reading, so it is legit, okay? And your prosperity is too legit to quit. I had to get that in here. It is too legit to quit. Carry abundance in your aura. Yes. Wealth flows to those who believe in their worth. Trust in your ability to attract abundance. Affirm your value daily and watch prosperity flow naturally. This is card 22. You are a prosperity charm. So this is something else that's very important to remember, that you naturally magnetize the energy around you in order to attract abundance. So whoever you're with, they're going to become abundant. Whoever you're around, whoever you're spending your time around, they are going to benefit from your energy simply because you vibrate on the frequency of ever increasing prosperity. You are a prosperity charm. I know a lot of people like carry, I got my citrine here, or they might carry an amulet or something to attract the abundance. You are a walking prosperity charm. So don't ever forget your value, okay? The people who have come to spread all this type of energy to you, they are in a shadow cloak, okay? They're trying to reveal their moves. They're trying to reveal, okay, they're trying to reveal their moves. So there's something that somebody wants you to see, but They're not able to reveal it. There's something that somebody wants you to see. It's an illusion. This is all coming intuitively because this is not what's on the card. There's something that somebody wants you to see, but it's an illusion. And so you're seeing the truth. And the reason is because your energy is cloaked from those who want to harness it and siphon it and take advantage of it. Okay, this says, do not reveal your next moves too early. Let your actions speak louder than your words and keep your strategies protected. That came out completely different, but thank you, Spirit. Because I was going to read it and then I just started talking. So there's something that a person wants to reveal to you, right? They want to act like it's information that's true, but it's not. It's an illusion. Because what they're doing is they're actually trying to cloak the truth, right? But what Spirit is saying for you is to not reveal your next moves too early, okay? So shadow cloak. Yeah. So this is about someone trying to send an illusion to you. But because you're intuitive, because you're wise, you will be able to peep game and you will know truth. Yeah, but somebody is trying to present an illusion to you. So beware of that. And if anything feels funny, it is. Okay? If something feels funny to you, especially someone from your past coming to you with some sort of, I'm getting that it would be some sort of plan. I want to pull a card on that because the way that was coming out, it was just like, okay, they said pull from this one. It's like some kind of little trick or something they're trying to pull. Some kind of information they want to present to you. But they're hiding the truth. What is this, Spirit? This false information. Okay, so there's somebody coming to you who's in a financial constraint. All right? Their finances are in a very bad way. And so they're trying to come to you with some sort of scam. I'm hearing they want the world from you. They want the world from you. Because they have nothing. That started coming through in the last reading. Yeah, so they're trying to come to you with some sort of like asking for money. Okay? But you're going to see right through that because of your third eye. You know how to peep game. And you know when something is sounding strange. Okay? So you'll see exactly through that. But if there's somebody coming to you with some kind of scam or trying to get you wrapped up in some sort, because that came through in the last reading too, like something about a contract. If somebody's trying to wrap you up in some kind of pyramid scheme or something like that, just don't. Just don't. Okay? Don't. You don't need what they're offering because you are a prosperity charm. They need you. You do not need them. Okay? You've got the enchanter's touch. You charm and captivate those around you. All right? You're very beautiful and magnetic. The people who have been plotting and scheming, they're like a broken mirror. Their self-image is shattered. And that's exactly what came through before, was that you challenged their masks that they were wearing. Whoever this person was, this narcissistic being who was trying to take you down, you challenged their mask. And so they were left with nothing but self-doubt and anger. Okay? All right, this is the energy of cosmic expansion. You're expanding your influence. Your impact is growing beyond your expectations. And anyone who tries to get in the way of this cosmic expansion is going to experience a frozen heart. They will lose their drive. They'll be prevented from taking on the necessary action to succeed while you remain fueled by passion. All right, and this is a choice that they make. This is not something that you have done. This is something that they have done to themselves with their own negative energy. Okay, so they need to back off, and mind their business and focus on themselves. That's what they need to do. Once again, we have abundance here. You are an abundant being, and that's what you attract. Ashe. What message are you leaving us with, Divine? What message do you have for this beautiful being? Okay, prayer. So however you set your intentions, whether it's through affirmations, connecting with spirit, connecting with the divine, or if you literally pray, however you connect with the divine, take time to do that, because you're going to reignite your divine energy and your connection to spirit. Yeah, see, connection to spirit. Also, this is about a beautiful connection in this physical realm, okay? With someone who loves you, someone who cares about you, and you are very important to them. And this connection brings balance to your world. And you have balance within you, no matter what. No matter whom you connect with or not, you create balance within yourself, with your spiritual rituals that you participate in to ground yourself, and with your connection to the divine. That in and of itself brings you balance. Just remembering that you are divine and that you have a divine purpose here on this earth. Ashe. All right, beautiful being, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful that you took time to do that. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity, some insight, some positive energy, and some, yeah, good vibes, all around good vibes. I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.